Well, we're here to be able to join with Tim Slivka, and obviously you guys are, very familiar with the fight against DIPG, DMG, and obviously you fought alongside your daughter Ayla, and we talked last year during Giving First, and we talked about a lot of the promise, but frankly, a lot of the urgency to try to focus on new trials, new support, and to really change the narrative of what these kids face. Can you tell us a little bit about your daughter Ayla and kind of her battle, if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely, Keith. And, thanks for letting me join you again this year to talk about our journey and our little girl. So, Ayla was a vibrant 6-year-old who just loved everything you could imagine a 6-year-old to love, right? She was, real into the Disney princesses at one point in time, and we had all of them, and we had all the dresses. And she just absolutely loved playing dress up and doing things like watching movies and doing all the sing-alongs. And that was just the type of girl she was. She had a personality. She would be the first to grab that microphone. She'd be the first to get up on stage. She was just a really fun and, like I said, vibrant little girl. As she got a little bit older, she got really into art and absolutely loved to paint and draw and color in coloring books. Actually, when I think back to it, she first started with art probably when she was in like maybe 1 or 2, and she just was starting to get that dexterity with her hands. But what she loved to do was play with sticker books. And that was kind of where she got her first sense of like the creativeness of putting a thought or an image onto paper. But she was just that type of kid where playing, being creative, having a good laugh, that was what Ayla loved to do. And she had a ton of little friends in our neighborhood that she would play with and be creative and play dress up, and they'd put on little movies. I've got this great memory of last Thanksgiving, actually, where we were with our friends up in Cleveland, and she and her little friend were wearing these really sparkly jackets that had unicorns on the back, and they put together like a little cheer type of dance together that was just a couple of seconds, but they came up from the basement after practicing it for a while, and all of us, stopped in our tracks to watch these 2 cute girls in their bright, sparkly jackets, just, really get up there and act like they were on that stage. So that was Ayla in a nutshell. She was just a really fun little girl that absolutely loved her friends and loved to be creative and just loved to have a good time.
Well, and obviously, unfortunately, we know how the battle went. We lost Ayla just obviously a little while ago to DIPG, and obviously it's now a cause that you guys dedicate your time to, your efforts to try to help other children that are in the fight. Why do you do this? I mean, why do you spend that time? What motivates you beyond the scenario where you say, you know what, I lost my daughter to this, and I just need to focus on our family? Why are you helping other families in this battle, and why is this important to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious, right? Like any family that's gone through this understands that you lose your daughter, you lose your son. It's obviously awful, but no other family should have to go through that. When you see the support that you get when you're in the middle of this fight, it's tremendous. People from all over the world, all sorts of friendships that you had at one point or another in your life. These people, I think generally people are really good and people want to be there to help you and to support you. And what Aaron and I felt as we battled this with Ayla for the last year, it was truly amazing and heart-wrenching all at the same time, because you're watching your kid go through this terrible battle and you see the fight that they've got, but you also know you've got all these loving and caring people out there that are supporting you and wanting to help you get over it. But to just give up after we watched that fight and watched all that support doesn't feel at all like the right thing to do. You want to stay in this, and I don't want to see other families have to go through what we went through. I want to see treatments improve. I want to see options improve. I want to see access to the medications improve. And I think that's what's fair for families that are in this fight. And whether or not it's, DIPG or another form of pediatric cancer, or whether or not it's, breast or prostate cancer that are just far more prevalent and well talked about. Families that are in this fight battling cancer don't deserve to go through it and have the same ending that we just had. So for Aaron and I, this is a fight that we want to continue to fight for a long time until and beyond when treatments start to improve.
Well, and you guys have been joined in that with your family, with your friends who have also taken on that battle as well, not just locally in Columbus, but also up in New Hampshire as well. I mean, do you find that helps having kind of that army behind it as well?
Well, no doubt. And you use the word army. We've lovingly called all of the supporters that have been with us Ayla's army, and that's really what our support group has been. They're in this fight with us, or I should say they were in the fight with us, but they'll continue to be in the fight with us moving forward. And we know that this army of people that we have behind us are equally as dedicated to trying to see DIPG and other pediatric cancers eradicated from this world.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the idea. That's the idea of why we do this today. Giving first is about putting our kids first. About not, having them deserve leftovers that happen after Thanksgiving or the donations that are left over when everything else is spent. It's about really putting our kids first. So we appreciate you being part of it. I'm going to ask you one other question, if you don't mind, and that's the book. You guys wrote a book. I think Aaron put together a book about Ayla and a bedtime story. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that book is very special to Aaron and I. Aaron sat down while we were in the hospital with Ayla really early after her diagnosis. And Aaron's always been creative. That's obviously where Ayla got it. Certainly not for me, who's much more black and white. I wouldn't say clinical, but I'm certainly more methodical in the way that I go about, the way that I live. Whereas Aaron is far more creative and I'd say a whole lot more fun. But she put pen to paper as an author and wrote down a very beautiful bedtime story, because when Aaron and Ayla used to go to bed, Ayla would ask questions like, what should I dream about? And Aaron would tell her all of these beautiful stories about all the great things that are out there in this life and in her dreams that she should just strive for. And when Aaron put that all down on paper and had it worked with a team of illustrators to put it together, it really turned out to be one of the most beautiful memories that we'll always cherish of, our time with Ayla. And Aaron, when she published this book or self-published this book just a few months ago, has really been dedicated to trying to use this as a vehicle to raise additional money to go back towards the Cure Starts Now and, research for DIPG and other forms of pediatric brain cancer. It's been tremendous to see the outpouring of support with people that have gone out to purchase this book. It's really special to us. And, this is a cause that's really special to us too. So it's nice to see that, it's kind of had the success that it's had.
Well, and I think that's the beauty of it. I mean, it's a book that you learn from. It's a book that hopefully we can pass on to, many other children that are out there. And I think ultimately it represents Ayla's wish and your guys' wish to be able to eradicate this cancer and to make it so that Ayla represents to all of us that cure. So we appreciate you joining us here today to talk a little bit about that and for obviously your support of the cause.
Yeah, thank you very much, Keith. I really appreciate it. And Aaron and I and all of our supporters have really enjoyed working with you and the team at the Cure Starts Now. It's an amazing organization that does an amazing thing. And, we're honored to be a part of it and want to thank you for the work that you've done through the years to raise as much money as you have and to fund as many clinical trials as you have. It's this and this organization that will help to find that cure, that home run cure that we're really all looking for, so thank you.
Well, it's a team effort. I told you that in the beginning of it. I said we need all of us to do this because it's not going to be done with one family, one person, one child.
No,
all of us come together to be able to beat this, and we will.
We will. It'll take time. It'll take some amazing funding, but we are in this together with you, and we will find it.
Well, that's what today is all about. So, thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
All right. Bye.